Hello everyone, welcome to another Getting Stuff Painted, my bi-weekly give or take update on the various miniatures I've been painting for the games we cover here on the channel. Not a huge amount to cover this week, but definitely a big mixture of games. From left to right we have Marvel Crisis Protocol, Resident Evil 3, the board game, Fallout Wasteland Warfare, Batman miniature game, and then finally a little bit of Star Wars Legion, and that's not an accidental Yoda pun. So yeah, we've been doing a large mixture of games, although with the completion of this Resident Evil 3 mini, that's actually Resident Evil 3 done until the Resident Evil 1 board game is out. But we can get to that as we go, as always, from left to right. So to start with, from the Convocation releases, the newest wave for Marvel Crisis Protocol, we've got Hood, Possessed Hood, which is the horrible demon he can turn into, or he can do it by choice, or he can do it if he's hurt. And then also the Ancient One, based on Tilda Swinton's MCU Ancient One, who I like a lot. She was the best part of Doctor Strange in my opinion. Anyway, we'll start with the man himself, Hood, who has a demon inside him. He's stepping out of a fiery portal. Again, everything done with contrast, and the colours in particular here, Blood Angel's red for his cape and the swirling vortex of fire, with a little bit of orange and yellow mixed in. Same for the flames on his pistols, because he has demon guns, I guess. Black Templar for his jacket, just plain grey sear base coat for his shirt with a non-oil wash over the top of just that. And then Basilicanum grey for his jeans, and then also for the base with a little bit of Blood Angel's red in the cracks to make it look like, I don't know, demon energy. So yeah, that's his normal form, but depending on those criteria I mentioned, he can turn into Spooky Demon. I made sure they had the same base but reversed because I thought that would be quite a nice touch. So for the Spooky Demon, he's still wearing the cloak, but it's got much longer, but somehow his shirt has changed. I'm not sure how that works. So cloak is still Blood Angel's red, and a little bit of the normal Blood Angel's red Citadel paint to highlight the shirt where it's meant to be highlighted, because the contrast would run too much. Black Templar for the vest, and Basilicanum grey for the trousers and the base. The skin tone I went with for him is the same way I do Tau back in the day. So that's just grey sear base with the Draken Shade blue wash that Citadel do over the top, and Volupus pink contrast for his mouth and Venom-esque tongue that he's sticking out there. Definitely looks more imposing, and he uses those claws, although he has a very nice lightning based attack, and I'm all for those. He's slightly larger as well, I think. He's like leaning forward, so it looks like he's shorter, but I think, sorry, that's out of focus. I think if he was standing up straight, he would be significantly taller than normal form Hood. Sorry, I got distracted by the postman coming and calling, so I don't remember what I was saying, but I believe we're up to looking at the Ancient One, so let's do that now. Again, like I said last time, I think the Yandan yellow contrast paint is very, very hit or miss. Oh yeah, because it was for Booster Gold, that's right. Here I think it's worked okay, because it's basically the only colour used. A little bit of Gryph-hound orange mixed into the magic, because it's got that kind of gradient in the official paint job. I painted her trouser leg black. It's actually meant to be grey, so I did that wrong. But her belt there is meant to be black, and a little silver talisman. I don't know if is that meant to be gold. Is that what has the Eye of Agamotto, time stone, etc.? Because it's silver on the official paint job. Maybe it's meant to be gold. I don't know. And then same on the magic she's secretly casting behind herself in her other hand, and her little Dragon Ball Z power-up thing. Very hard to get into the bits here if you assemble first, incidentally. You can't really see them anyway, so it doesn't matter. But if that bothers you, then yeah, obviously don't put them down until it's fully painted. You can choose hooded or unhooded. I went with hooded just because it's more iconic to me. But you can choose whether or not she has the hood up. And yeah, really interested in seeing the miniature on the table. Very obvious negative, she's very bad at taking hits from physical attacks, so brawlers will devour, but she can dish out. So a little bit of a glass cannon if she's going against a brawly team. If she's going up against energy and mystic damage, I think she'll do really, really well. So the final boss of the expansion for Resident Evil 3, the board game, is of course Final Nemesis, who is not in focus. You'd have thought a big flat base like this would help. There we go. A truly, truly disgusting form, because this is when he's been melted by acid, and he's just all horrible. Although you can still kind of make out where his body is. Like, this is his ribcage, and then he's got his brain right there, and then I think these are bits of his eyes, and then his actual eyes here. and these are his back tentacles. So, you know, there is... You can see where he used to be, and then he just became this thing. So, same flesh tone as I've been using for all the Resident Evil 3 stuff. The purple contrast for the tentacles with a little bit of Nurgle's rot over the top for the disgusting slime. Blood for the blood god, for the blood on the base there. He's leaking from every orifice. It's truly disgusting. And I will be filming the finale against this guy in the coming days, I think. Which you'll see, yeah, you will see after this video, yeah, for sure. Oh, and a little bit of Blood Angels Red for like the bleeding muscles and an exposed muscle, etc, etc. Truly disgusting, but that's what it's meant to be. It is, after all, final Nemesis. Well, technically, because after he gets hit by the railgun, he's basically just like a flopping around bit of flesh for the you want stars moment, etc. So anyway, next, from Wasteland Warfare, quick thing to cover. Another set of rad roaches. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Man on Large Bike. Sorry, Large Man on Little Bike. Painted exactly the same as I talked about the last time, so don't really need to cover anything else. It's just more of this set done. That's the last one of the normal ones. And I did the first of the irradiated rad roaches. So, same colours for the base and whatnot. For them, I used the Tesseract Glow effect. Technical paint the Games Workshop do, with Agrex Earthshade over the top to bring down the tones a little bit. You might want to do a wash over the top if you want them to look more, like, again, I mean with the Tesseract to make them look glowy again, but still have the shadow in the recesses. I didn't bother, I liked how they looked at that point, so I stopped. And you can tell what they are, and they're the more dangerous cousins of the little ones right there. So from the Batman miniature game, I have a bunch of Riddler Reinforcements. Let's start with the best one, which is overly sized man on undersized moped, which is a lovely model. Now his name is Irish because there's a version of him where he's not on the bike and he's called Irish, but this version is not called that. So technically you could have both versions in a list, which is quite fun. Although it's having trouble finding him. I don't blame it, honestly, with how weirdly proportioned he is. Like, he's swoller than Bane is. But yeah, he's riding a tiny, tiny moped. So I'll show these off and talk about in general the colours I use, because I used them all. But I did already cover it with the last set of Riddler stuff. And these in general will be in not the next battle report you'll see, probably the one after that. And see a tiny old Charlie Chaplin type man who's probably going to really struggle to get in focus, but maybe not. So it's Warp Lightning contrast on all of them. I didn't use Shileish Purple because it's too dark and it's not that great. I used Gene Stealer Hide and then Agrex Earthshade over the top. Tried to pick out the question marks on the shirts and the brims of the bowler hats, etc. Silicanum Grey and Agrex Earthshade for the base as well. Nazrag Yellow for anything that's gold. And I think that about covers it for them. This one is all those colours I mentioned. Glumin Flesh for all the skin tones. But it's the wash doing the work here. These were murder to clean up instantly. It's in the new resin and I did not have fun clearing them up, and I very clearly missed bits. But I was just... It took me like an hour and there was still more. And I was just, I can't be bothered with that. So I settled for what I had. But these will be interesting because I feel like the first Riddler list that appeared on the channel did really well, but it was only like half and half Riddler with a bunch of help. Going pure Riddler, I'm not sure if it'll be better or not. So it'll be interesting to see. Now this is Quell, I think, is her name, or how you pronounce her name. She is a official sidekick for the Riddler, and also very small, so it might be hard to get in focus. Also slightly treacherous. She doesn't fully believe in the Riddler's ways. Exactly the same colours used for her as well, though she's got a little nice, pretty decent silenced pistol, I think. But I think she's the only sidekick, because I think the other two named people are just henchmen. I might be wrong about that, the one with the machine gun and the other one. But she's definitely an official Riddler sidekick, so she'll be backing up the Quizmaster himself. I shouldn't say Quizmaster, because Quizmaster is a different villain. But don't worry about it. Anyway, they will be in not the next battle report for Batman, probably the one after that. So finally, for this time, from Star Wars Legion, we have the new Yoda Commander that I just wanted to pick up because I just want a Yoda miniature. There's 3 poses in the Yoda box and they give you enough bits to build 2. So I built 2 and I was like, well, what am I going to do with the other one? I only need 1. So I decided to make Evil Sith Yoda just for fun. But we'll go over normal Yoda first. He's just on the ground using the Force with his lightsaber out. The other version is kind of like him with his walking stick, using the Force with his hand out like that. kind of the pose where he's pulling Luke's X-Wing out the water. Although this is based on his Clone Wars version, it's not usable in the like Empire Strikes Back era. But let's see. Skittle Horde was used for his cloth. I keep blanking that name. Wildwood for his undergarments. Warp Lightning Green for his skin. And then that's just Nurgling Green for his lightsaber there. Tried to do the light effect as well on him there. And a little bit of Calgar Blue on his hand to make it look like he's using a good force power. And as with all Star Wars Legion, that's just one of the Games Workshop technical paints that makes it look like cracked earth on his base. But then we have Evil Yoda. I used Plaguebearer Flesh for this guy's skin tone, and I think it might have actually been a better choice for Yoda's skin tone. Although when he's younger he is greener. So maybe not, I don't know, it's up to you. So it's just pure Black Templar for his evil Sith robes. That makes the red reflection of his lightsaber, which is Blood Angel's red, look much better in my opinion. And this felt like a very aggressive pose, so I felt like it kind of fit. But yeah, I made my own fan character, Evil Yoda. Oh yeah, and it's a dry brushing of the Fang as well, like I did for the Emperor's cloak back when I painted him. But yeah, I'm actually kind of happy with how that came out. It's just a silly alternative thing because you get enough parts to build two, so why not do something with them? And I'm quite happy with how it came out. It's just a neat looking thing. Normal version came out fine as well. So that is going to do it for another painting update. Next time there's going to be Fallout Wasteland Warfare again for sure. There's going to be more of the Convocation releases. Still got 4? Doctor Strange, Doctor Voodoo, and Cleo and Mordo. Yeah, 4. Somewhere Batman possibly. Still waiting on the long ordered many moons ago Rebirth Green Arrow and Black Canary that came out, or supposed to come out months ago, but you know how it is. And a bunch of other stuff. If you want to show me what you've been painting, feel free to show me on Twitter at GamerEND. I'll link it below the videos as well if you need to double check what the link is. Whether or not I play the game, I just like seeing stuff get painted, so feel free to show me. I like seeing it, and I try and remember to like and retweet everything that gets shown to me. Sometimes I forget, but not always. And yeah, that's going to do it for this time, so I will see you in 2 weeks-ish for another update. Thank you very much for watching. Get your grey pile of shame painted, and see you next time. Ta-ta for now.